Hey, this is Woody, the Unexceptional Gamer, and I've had a lot of requests for me to go over the classes that I use, and I thought I would do that here. But before I begin, I'm going to answer probably my most frequently asked question, which is, where's Wings of Redemption on the Game Battles team? So I was going to say this. I was going to say that Wings of Redemption and I had different ideas about how best to lead a Game Battles team. Mine was sort of a softer approach where we build a team, we gel over a long period of time, and before long we become strong and used to each other, and we all know our roles, and things work out well like that. And Wings of Redemption, on the other hand, was more like a drill sergeant, more someone who would uh, pound at people, replace them if we had to, and do that sort of thing. And I talked to Wings of Redemption, and I was like, hey, this is what I plan on saying. And he said, tell them the truth. Tell them they didn't like how I talked to them, and that we all decided it was better I wasn't on the team. So there you have sort of two versions of the same story. Wings was just a little harsher in the way that he delivered his message to everybody on the team, and sometimes he would get frustrated when things didn't go just right. So I think he may end up forming his own team. I know he's put out feelers in there, and he may or may not go all the way with it, or he may just stay in the pub matches where he is now, kicking butt. But my one request to you guys is please don't make any drama. I'm still friends with Wings. We still chat on Skype almost every day. We still play together from time to time. There wasn't a big falling out. We just had different philosophies on how a game battles team should be put together, and went our separate ways in the game battles arena. But we're still friends, and there's no huge drama in that regard. So on to my classes. Um, I'll just go from top to bottom. I've got 10 classes open. This is my Game Battles Camper class. So I mostly use this for TDM, and I don't use it very much at all because my team doesn't play a lot of TDM. But if you play Game Battles TDM, you'll find that guys stand really still. They just have the tip of their head showing beyond some little wall, and they will sit there and wait and wait and wait for you to come. That's how Game Battles TDM is usually played. And when you have a fully auto weapon, then it's slow to kill. If you have something like a FAMAS or an M16, those things can kill in one burst, and they're fairly accurate. Whereas like a TAR, if you try to pick off the top of some guy's head, you might be a whole clip into it before things are over. So this is a good weapon if you're going to have time to shoot. If you're going to wait for guys to come to you. This is a class I use a lot. It's a TAR FMJ with Sleight of Hand Pro. And in pub matches, I tend to run a lot of Scavenger. In game battles, your KD usually isn't that wild. If you get 5 kills on 1 life, that's sort of an unusual thing. You don't see guys with 5 to 1 KDs in games, and if that does happen, you can pick up a weapon in that rare situation. So Scavenger is not a widely used game battles perk. Sleight of Hand Pro is much more common. And it's the pro part of it, the faster aim down sight, that does a lot to help me win gunfights. So I really like that. As far as my secondary, I tend to run the Raffica if it's a MLG variant game, and I run Akimbo Glocks if it's a regular game battles game. So I thought that I'd be able to set up classes that were legal for everything, but it didn't work out that way. And I still have to modify these top 4 classes sometimes depending on which games we're playing. This is my runner class. If I need to get from one spot to another in a hurry, then this is the one I use. A lot of guys say, why don't you use the UMP or UMP if you're one of those guys. And I used it. I was using it, and then one night I just got owned by this guy with the MP5K, repeatedly. And I thought, well, man, I'm gonna switch it up and try the MP5 with a hollow sight like he was using. And I started doing well with it. I started winning a lot of gunfights with it. So for whatever reason, in my hands, the MP5 is better than the UMP. Now, I went to a Game Battles website and saw a poll. And some guy said, hey, which do you like better, the UMP or the MP5? And it was 75-25, with 75% of the people preferring the UMP and 25% preferring the MP5K. So I'm in the minority on this, but I'm not alone. I'm going to give the UMP more tries, obviously, but this is the one I tend to go to because I have good luck with it. This is my other runner class, and everything is the same except for the UMP, and I switched out the hollow sight with FMJ. And I don't know that on a submachine gun, because the penetration is bad. The FMJ helps me a whole lot. I don't think I'm getting a lot of penetration kills on a submachine gun with this, but I don't really feel like I need the hollow sights either, so I grabbed something that helps me. And you'll notice I have Copycat on all four of those game battles classes. Not every time. If I'm playing MLG variant, then it has to be Copycat. That's the only death streak that's allowed. If I'm playing a regular game battles rules, then every death streak is allowed. And I think I'm going to cover this in a separate video. And if I can choose any death streak, I usually choose Painkiller because I find that it helps me achieve my objectives better than Final Stand. In a pub match, I like Final Stand. So here's a UMP Silent I have running around. Sometimes I use this on like a scrapyard game or something, and I run around quietly doing my thing. The aims down sight helps me run and gun, and I think Final Stand is the most powerful death streak, so that's what I tend to use in pub matches. But if I'm really focused on the objective, like let's say I'm trying to cap a flag, or even just trying to get to their side of their flag, then I can usually run over there on Painkiller, and that helps me a lot. Whereas Final Stand may keep me alive and may help me get to that, Predator Harry or whatever, but it doesn't help me get my objective done. So if there's kill streaks, Final Stand I like more. If there's no kill streaks, Painkiller I like more. So here's a Bling M16. This would be illegal in most game battles matches for the striker and for bling. You can't run bling in game battles. I think every variant allows for no bling, but I'm not positive about that. And then the shotgun secondaries are usually disallowed in game battles too. It's an individual rule, but most people set it up that way. I like the striker more than the AA-12 when I'm not running one-man army because it doesn't seem to go through bullets quite as quickly as the AA-12 does. I used to have that on here, and I found that I just ran out of bullets too often in my secondary, so I switched it up to the striker, and that helps a lot. And then the M16 with the hollow and silencer is just fantastic. You can pick people off and work your way up the streak. So here's my cheap class. I promise you, I never pull this out first. I consider it like a hockey fight. I rarely start them, but I'll be damned if I roll over if you do. So here it is. It's my noob one-man army danger close class, and like I said, I promise I never use this first, but if I die to it a couple of times, I'll retaliate with it, and that's how it is. So here's my pub scar. It's my just general running around full auto machine gun class that I use in pub matches. The AA-12 is great up close, and the scar is great for medium distance. It's not really my best long distance weapon. The scar has a really small clip, so I tend to run the extended mags on it, even though I love the hollow sight. But you can't run an AA-12 in my opinion without scavenger. You'll just run out of ammo too quickly. Here's my anti-air class. It's an FAL with a hollow sight and a silencer. So what was I gonna say? The thing about the FAL is it kills in 2 or 3 shots, depending on how far you are, and I think it's 2 with the hollow sight in every situation, which is pretty cool. But so for that reason, it's one that does better without stopping power than the other ones, which is why I choose it for my anti-air class. I find that with the FAL, I can still kill really quickly just by mashing on the button. But with the other weapons, when I don't have stopping power, I feel like I'm at a huge disadvantage. So you still have to control the engagement. You're not going to be really great if the guy turns around the corner and you're stuck with this FAL. But at a distance or even at a medium distance, you can do well with this weapon even without stopping power. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, the Stinger is my favorite anti-air weapon. I think it's everybody's favorite. And here's my pub TDM. I also use it for S&D, and because I don't know, I like silence weapons in S&D, and this thing does fairly well. It also has claymores, which are good for search and destroy, and then claymores are nice for TDM because you get a free kill, and you usually can leave them in some high traffic spot and people run across them. Whereas on objective-based games, I tend to use grenades because I can stop people from capping flags, planting bombs, or doing whatever. With the claymore, and it's all about kills, then I do that. So these are my classes. All the ones labeled pub are typically illegal for one reason or another, except this one. But most of these I label them pub in game battle so that I don't make the mistake of choosing the wrong one. And this has been a popular video. I hope I answered some of the questions about both the game battles team and about my class setup. Oh, and the last thing, my game battles team is named the Unexceptional Brethren. That's a question I get a whole lot. So hopefully you guys like this vid. I've got some more coming out ready to go. Oh, one last thing I wanted to add was the progress on the man cave is rolling along smoothly. I have giant holes cut in the wall and electrical outlets moved and rewired. I've got an outlet in the closet now for a mini fridge, and hardwood floors and all that fun stuff is coming in. I'm making most of the furniture for it, and that's moving along too. I've got the electronics cabinet built and installed, the TV cabinet, so I can recess that in the wall. Built but not installed yet. I did test fit it. So, but my big thing was for those of you that sent me messages saying, hey, congratulations on the man cave. I look forward to seeing it and all that fun stuff. I appreciate you because if I talk to normal people, non-gamers, sometimes they don't see like what's so special about the man cave, about having a little domain to call your own to play games and watch movies and do your thing. My mom thought it was absolutely ridiculous, but whatever. I'm a grown up. So thanks for you guys who sent me messages and shared my joy in it, and I'll do a setup video when it's finished.